3, 2, 1. You have to either have one hand in the air, two hands, or no hands. And you have to have it in place before I get to done with the countdown. You can't put it there when someone says, you can't change after she says that. That's called the C word. Okay, you ready? Make your choice. One hand, two hand, or no hand. 3, 2, 1, freeze, no change. Two hands. One hand, two hand, no hand. 3, 2, 1. Freeze. Don't change. No hands. Okay, choose again. 3, 2, 1. Freeze. It's either 1 or 2, buddy. Can't change. 1 or 2. Or no. Okay, 1 or 2 or no. You ready? Freeze. Don't change. Okay, choose again. It's gonna go quick. 3, 2, 1. Freeze. One hand. Yeah, I see some people changing. Okay, if you're still standing, come up on stage. Come down. Ready? Everybody's watching you. You can't change. 3, 2, 1. Two hands. Okay, make a choice. 3, 2, 1. No hands. Here we go. 3. You should all do something different, I think. 3, 2, 1. One hand. Yeah! Good morning and welcome to TCE Chapel. Today, Mrs. Long will be presenting and for worship we will be singing Christmas songs. Also, don't forget that this afternoon we'll be having invited questions. And here's more to you.
Dear Jesus, thank you for this day. I pray that we open our hearts to listen to Mrs. Long's message and for everyone to learn to talk and walk again and for a large amen.
Let's welcome Mrs. Grady and the worship.
Dear, she gives us the message and that so we can remember that you're the reason for the season during Christmas. Amen.
The game guess who? Like guess who? Oh, I want to know. You guys, you know me so well. You raise your hands without. Oh. That's why I don't know if many parents were here the week that our friend Miss Erica came. The the children's ministry director from Ginsburg came to the lesson, and I was one of her volunteers, and I was over here with the 4th grade. Oh, I want to be volunteer! And 6th graders were like, what are you doing that? Don't they know Mrs. Long doesn't like that? You know this game? Okay. Well, if you do know it, then you'll know what to do. If you don't know, then you are going to help me. We're going to play. I don't know the character up there, so don't tell me. My daughter had to figure out how to do an attachment, which she pretty much knew, and send this to Miss. She took a picture of it. She took it on my phone or my iPad. Okay, she took a picture of it and then emailed it to Mrs. Patton. And Mrs. Patton emailed me back and said, "What are we doing?" And I said, "Don't show me what it is. I don't want to see it. I'm going to ask you yes or no questions. And I have to figure out who that is. I have no idea, really. I only know it's not one person because we were debating on if this was a man or a woman, and I think I got it wrong. So I said, we're not even sure correctly how to pronounce the name. So I just made sure it wasn't this person. We tested it out. So, okay. Do you have facial hair? No facial hair. So I need to get rid of anyone. I can't tell if she has facial hair or not, but we're going to say she doesn't. I thought she was going to choose someone on the kid one, but she picked one on the crazy. Okay. Are you wearing glasses? I'm hearing conflicting answers. No glasses. Oh, so we can get rid of Jane. What I didn't test out is they don't have a lot of room right here. I should have had a kid help me. Okay. Can I see your teeth?
Yes!
I'm not sure how much I trust the kindergartners. We got to work on our trust. So I can see teeth. Do you have red hair? Are you a woman? It's questionable. Days out in the world today are difficult. Are you wearing earrings? No earrings? Somebody likes to be contrary. We gotta work on that. Is your name Dorothy? Dorothy is a lovely lady. That was fun. I want to play that more. Okay, so normally, if you've never played before, normally you go back and forth. And figure out, and then somebody wins. We all win today. So when you're playing the game, Guess Who? The whole goal of the game is to discover the identity of the other person. That's the word we use. You're discovering their identity. Trying to figure out who they are before they figure out they're trying to figure out who they are. And you're trying to figure out who you are before the other person does. But in the game, Guess Who? We're just going by hair and glasses and eyes, and maybe someone on that game had a big nose. I can't remember if Ruth did. No, she had a little tiny nose. You can ask them, am I a woman? Do I have earrings? Do I have white hair? Do I have facial hair? Okay, do I just have a mustache? So it's just by, oh, thank you. Look at now. You're just going by the outward appearance. But we have an identity that's different than that. We have an identity that goes past that. We have an identity because of Christ. And I don't want to hear any groaning. Okay, boys? Someday I'll use the movie Legos or something else. I want you to watch a scene about a girl who's struggling with her identity. Who wanted, like those eyes looking at me for the mic? And then some people have their heads in their coats and hiding under their chair to make them sing. All right, so Elsa was made how she was made, and that song was about her just letting go of fear. She wasn't going to be afraid anymore to be who she was. She was going to let that go. And she ran away, though. She was going to live a life of loneliness and isolation because she was going to let go of her fear, but really she was running from her fear. Guys, we don't have to run from our fear. We can let it go. We can sing that song and connect to that song and let it go. Let our fear go and be who we're going to be. But we don't have to run because, see, we have an identity that comes from the Lord above, the creator of the universe, the King of everything. And we are called his children. What happens when you're the child of a king? What are you? Prince. You're a princess. You're royalty. 1 John 3:1 says, how great is the love the Father has lavished on us, that we should be called children of God, and that is what we are. The reason that the world doesn't know this is they don't know him. So when we hear things out in the world, like you should be this way or you shouldn't be this way, they don't know him. They don't know the King. If it doesn't match up with what our Father has already told us, then we have to not listen to them. See, we're children of the King. When you're a child of the King, you go to him, you ask for something. He is the ruler over everything. He has authority over everything. Going to the world for your answers about who you are, looking in magazines for pictures that you want to be like, that's like going down, being royalty, having everything your heart desires, and going down and living in the dirt and the mud with the peasants. That's just living in the dirt and the mud, eating scraps of trash when you live with the King. See, if the King is your Father, he'll give you everything you need. He doesn't make his children suffer. But we also have to accept that identity. We have to accept that we're a child of the King and not live in fear. I lived in fear about some things in my life. I was always afraid that I was going to fall and land on my face and bust my two front teeth out. I was very fearful of that for a long time. I'm pretty klutzy, and so I trip and fall over a lot of things, and I could just like take a thought down the road too far. Like, what if? Oh my gosh, I just tripped. What if I would have tripped and fell face first, like couldn't get my hands out in front of me, and my teeth broke my fall, and then I had my front teeth. And you know what I was the most afraid about that though? Not the pain of the teeth. The pain that other people would cause not having two front teeth and having people make fun of me. 1 John 4:18. We know that anyone born of God does not continue to sin. The one who is born of God keeps him safe, and the evil one cannot harm him. See, when my identity is rooted in God as my Father and Jesus as his Son who was sent for me, I don't have to be afraid of anything because the evil one can't harm me. Now, a lot of the world says, why would Jesus be born as a baby? Why is the ruler of the universe, the Savior of our souls, the way we're going to get to heaven, why is he born as a tiny, little, naked, crying, vulnerable baby? Because God wanted to show us that he was with us and that he lived every part of our lives from birth to death. So he was born just like us. He was God with us, Emmanuel. We need to treat each other as children of a king. We need to treat each other with love and kindness and compassion in every day. I love our culture here at Troy Christian. Our culture is one that is of kindness and love. We've got to continue to remind ourselves that we want that here, we want to protect that, because we're family. So let's watch this scene about what it means to love. Talking about mushy love, but they were also talking about the love that we have for each other too, which is putting someone else's needs before your own. I have one last video I want to end with, and it's difficult to see, so I'll tell you what's going on, but the words are great. And Mrs. Zakel found this and said, I don't know if this fits. It could fit. It was the perfect way to end my chapel with you. It is called, it's a Frozen parody, which means they're using Frozen songs, but they change the words. So you have to listen carefully. And it is a group of 5th and 6th grade kids from a Christian school, and it's several minutes long. So they're acting out parts. You can't quite see what they're doing, but they're up on stage, and just really listen to the words.